welcome back. I'm your host, Jim Gardiner, and this is the Inspirational 30. This is my little privilege in life to sit down with some amazing people in all walks of life. And the goal of this conversation that we're about to share with you is to help us all be a better version of ourselves, to maybe kind of just live our authentic lives, what we're really supposed to be doing on this earth. And so today's episode, I cannot tell you how excited I am today. It's something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I'm investigating on my own journey, and looking forward to that. Today we're talking about intuitive healing and the power of emotional triggers and how that can really set you up or maybe impede you from success in life or health or wellness. And so my guest today, it's my privilege to sit down with Carla Pilton. Welcome to the Inspirational 30.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes.
Thank you.
So obviously you just heard me rant and rave, and I've told everybody in the studio how excited I am to have this conversation.
Yeah.
I want to get right into it because there's so many things we're going to touch on today. Mm-hmm. Maybe for our viewers, you are an intuitive healer. You're also a meditation teacher. Mm-hmm. But intuitive healing, give us a quick rundown of what is that for our viewers?
So what I do is I help people find whatever's keeping them stuck or keeping them in pain or keeping them from moving forward in their life in whatever way that would be. There's a lot to it, but
and those are usually emotional triggers or something that's buried deep within inside them in a sense, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And now I think one of the interesting things about your journey and why it's inspiring to me is sitting here. This was a journey that you took.
Yeah.
So maybe let's kind of go over that a little bit. So I know you were like my wife. My wife's a dance mom, but you were a hockey mom, which is predominantly every mom in Canada, right? For a lot of mothers out there.
Yeah.
Give us a rundown of what was going through your life back in the day.
So I was busy. I was looking after everyone else, running around, just really all my energy was going to other people. As well as I was probably managing everyone else's emotions in the house as well. So not really spending a lot of time on me. Yeah. So it came to a grinding halt because my body just couldn't do it anymore. So what happened was I ended up waking up one morning and my whole body went into a full-blown spasm. My body couldn't move. I was stuck. And I was in a lot of pain. And that started a search for answers.
So all of a sudden, somehow all this exterior stress found itself and you reached a breaking point.
Yep.
And you literally woke up and you had pain everywhere across your body. Mm-hmm. And so, obviously, you come to a grinding halt, and you mentioned seeking answers. So you sought some answers, and you couldn't find any answers, right?
No, so I went to the doctor. I had specialists looking after me. I went the alternative route. I went to physio. I couldn't seem to get my body to feel good again. It was just not happy. And so it wasn't until I really realized that I felt like I was at the end of my road. I felt like there were no answers for me, that I started to look inside. And so that began with some meditation, just going in my body, listening to what was happening inside my body. And when I began to do this every day, everything started to change.
And did you find that on your own, or did you seek out somebody? Like you went the clinical route, you went all these things. Did you go seek someone out to kind of give you some guidance in that, or did you just find that yourself?
So there were some synchronicities that began to happen. I was guided by a friend to go and see a healer. Oh, okay. And so it was new to me. I've always felt really connected in many ways to, you know, energies, and but I'd never gone to see a spiritual healer. And so I was open to trying anything at that point. I was feeling really desperate. So I went to see a spiritual healer, and that's when everything really began to shift for me.
Yeah, and so you started to feel better. It wasn't like overnight.
No.
Right? So it's not like it's some crazy thing. I mean, but there was something to it which propelled you to say, I should investigate this further.
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
So we did, and what happened?
So once I'd gone to a few sessions with the healer, my body started to feel less pain. And then I continued on with my meditations, and the meditations was all new to me. When I first began to meditate, it was a little bit different. Like, it was something I hadn't done, and I didn't even know what it meant to meditate, but I was willing to try. And so when I continued to meditate each day, I started to know things and really feel connected into my own intuition. And I just knew that I needed to do certain things now. So, yeah.
And so that calling was a workshop or
that calling led me to take a course.
A course.
Yeah, and the course was a course in healing. So I went to this course in healing. It was a 4-day course in Vancouver, and the course was actually for me to go and learn a modality of healing. But during the 4 days, I ended up having a really big awakening. So it was an energetic awakening, which opened up all of my energy centers. It changed my life in a matter of days. So all my body pain left. So my understanding is that everything that I had been holding on to was stuck in my body. So all the emotions from years and years of taking it all in was just stuck in my body and causing pain.
And so you walked out of there 4 days later, and literally
a new person.
A new person walked out of there. The pain was gone.
Yeah.
You had a clear vision about what you were meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Your purpose, I guess.
Definitely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. My purpose was shown to me through that awakening.
We're going to get into it more, but I think it's just amazing because the power of the mind and what we hold on to that we don't even know we hold on to. And I think that's the thing. It's just so deeply hidden, deeply rooted in there. And it affects us. It affects us as we go down in life,
Yeah.
And
well, the mind is what keeps us going in all different kinds of directions. The teachings that I'm giving people are showing them how to get into the heart center, how to live from a new place.
Here, not here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So the mind is very powerful, and so we have to be really mindful of how we're using our mind. We can allow it to be taking us back into the past, living in the future. So if we're living in the past, we're bringing back all of the stories, all of the memories, all of the things that cause emotion.
Some good.
Some good, some not so good. Yeah.
Right?
So the work that I do is it identifies the emotions that are connected to how the mind is working. So each day when we wake up, we have the thoughts start coming. So 70,000 thoughts a day are coming in. And so some of those are stories from the past. Some of those are whatever it is we have to do today, our lists, whatever it is, we're driven to do. So the emotions that are coming up from the past, sometimes those are really causing us a lot of trouble. And those are the ones that are getting stuffed down into our body, being stored in our energy centers.
Perfect. Let's hang on that for a moment. So we got a little concept of your journey that has led you to this, and now we keep throwing around the word emotion because it is huge.
Yeah.
So emotion is a big focal point of what you do. And you just mentioned emotional centers. So there are seven, emotional centers in our body, or chakras, correct?
Yeah.
Can you just give us the ABCs of those 7 real quick?
Sure. The meditation that I began to do in the beginning was all based on the chakra system. And so now it's my understanding that the chakras, our energetic centers in our body, are actually the root of opening up and releasing the energies that no longer serve us, right? All the emotion and memory in our bodies. So we have our root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, down through the legs. This is the chakra. When we focus on it and we open it, clear it, we can feel really solid and centered in our bodies. It keeps us grounded. It keeps us feeling like we're in our bodies and not out there, like thinking about everything else or living that external life. It keeps us solidly in our bodies. And then the second chakra is in the pelvis. It's a sacral chakra. And this chakra, it's connected to relationships. So when we begin to open that chakra, a lot of things will come up that's connected to relationships that we've had in our lives, even the relationship with yourself. So what do we say about ourselves? What's happening there? What are we judging? All of that stuff. So relationships with other people, maybe from years ago, and you're not even connected to that person anymore. There's still energies that are there and emotions that are stuck in our bodies. And so when we connect into those energies, we can release them, let them go. And so that was 2. So then we have our solar plexus, which is in the center of our body. And this is an area where we hold on to unprocessed emotion. So daily emotions, things that we're holding on to. We also hold on to other people's emotions here. So if you are a sensitive soul, you feel everyone's energy. You're a mom, a dad, you see your children feeling sad or things are happening for other people, loved ones in your life, you can really take that on. And so you may have tummy issues or digestion issues, and that shows up in this center. And so we go through clearing and releasing all of that, and releasing yourself from taking on other people's emotions, right? Because that's not for us to hold on to. So then we have our heart center, and our heart center is all about connecting to unconditional love. It's all about connecting to your soul, your spirit, your essence of who you are. And what we find in there sometimes is that we hold protection. People have walls built up, energetic walls, because maybe they've been hurt in the past. And so we go into that and connecting into, sometimes we have to go back to the event where it began, where it was created, and then release it from there. And so then we have our throat center. So the base of the throat, this is all about speaking your truth, about being authentic, about being heard. This can go back to childhood. All of these energies, all the things that are in our bodies can go way back, right, to the time of birth even. So releasing the throat, opening up that energy, allowing yourself to speak and be authentic and live that way. And then we get into the spiritual chakras. So we have our third eye, which is the center of the forehead. This is our seeing eye. This is our intuition. And then the top of the head is the crown chakra. And this chakra is the energy of source. So creator, God, whatever that is for you. This is the energetic chakra where we connect to those spiritual energies. And when we feel that connection, we feel that source, it's very powerful. And we learn to use that energy that's within us. It can really be life-changing.
So 7 centers. Now the process, obviously some of us may be blocked in certain chakras where other energy centers are completely open and free, possibly, right? And I think, is it safe to say when all 7 are free-flowing is when everyone's kind of enlightened, or for lack of a better term, is that realistic in this day and age? Or,
definitely, absolutely, and that's where we all need to get to.
What we strive
Yeah,
for,
that's
right.
what we're striving for. So when your energy centers are open and flowing and free, that's usually when you've released a lot of the emotional stuff from your body, when you've gone back to the past, you've let go of things that no longer serve you. So when you have done that, when you've worked on those centers, your body actually starts to regenerate. So you start to feel really free. You no longer really feel sick or bogged down or heavy. A lot of us walk around just feeling like we're carrying the weight of the world. Our bodies feel heavy and it's just like slugging through life. So it changes your life.
Well, I even on a small scale, I mean, we've all been emotional. I mean, even viewers at home, we've all had our emotional moments. My wife gives me the nudge on the couch because I'll be the guy that tears up at a Hallmark commercial or something sometimes, right? But I mean, somehow when we have a good cry, you do feel better, don't you?
Oh,
you do.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
let it out.
So there's something like that. That's on the micro level. That's an example of what you're doing on a really small scale.
Yeah.
It's you're allowing that release that comes with that emotional let go, if you will.
Definitely.
Right? And I think you alluded to something before, which is, I think the only way that we can start to get on the authentic path to ourselves or to kind of go down that purpose that we're supposed to have is to get rid of things that don't serve us.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, if you have a career that's sucking the life out of you, if it's just like not feeding your soul, if you're in a relationship that it's not good for you or not healthy, listen. A lot of times we don't move away from those things because of fear. And so fear can keep us from really living our lives. And so that's another thing that we identify in healing sessions, in the sessions that I give one-on-one, is that, if we're going to stay stuck in fear, then truly we're going to stay stuck. And we're not going to feel fulfilled. We're not going to feel like we're living a passionate life. And that's why we're here. We're here to be feeling like, passion.
I know,
and,
right?
Yeah.
And so we talked about what doesn't serve us. So give me an overview of some of the people that you help. We touched on it at the beginning, but because all those things like addiction, like trauma, PTSD, right? Those are things that you see in your practice, right?
So I see a wide spectrum of people with all kinds of different things that they want to work on. Some are people have seen traumatic things, experienced trauma, all kinds of post-traumatic stress. And we can work through those things and release the emotions. And a lot of the feedback I get from people that have come to me to work on those things is, wow, my life has completely changed. And sometimes it only takes 2 sessions, depending on how willing they are or ready they are to let it go.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, an addict always talks about that pain as the catalyst which forces them to seek help. And I think at some point someone's got to be willing to be open.
And
right?
also what I find is that people can suggest that you come to see me, or someone might call me and say, my mom told me I should see you. Well, wait until you feel like you're ready, because until you're ready, you won't be able to really let go. So it's really important for everyone to listen to their own.
There's a huge trust factor.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine you're privy to information, and you also witness things that are truly magical, for lack of a better term. I mean, some of this purge that we keep talking about, it's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it is, and I feel really privileged to witness some of the healing that I witness, and just to see the changes in people, and to I just feel grateful every day for my work. And getting back to some of the people that I see, I definitely see a wide range. Some people are just come to me and they're like, I just feel stuck. I don't know what to do. And so we work through all of that, and we never know where that's coming from, which is really interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's great, because that segues me into where I want to talk next, which is, you know, someone that's seeking some help. They, you know, there's either a clinical approach or there's an intuitive approach. In a sense, there's multiple ways, but you know, I want to kind of, we're trying to educate the viewers at home on the difference between the two. You know, let's just sit there for a minute, because you know, I assume someone goes to a counselor, okay?
Yep.
And they're getting help, and it's great. I mean, they're talking to people, they're being heard. There's something just said for having a platform to voice stuff. That's huge. Is it safe to say the way a clinical approach is, if we use an analogy of an onion, for example, where they're peeling back layer after layer to try to get to the fundamental issue, and it's more of a temporary kind of solution, like you walk out of that appointment sometimes feeling good, but it's not really at the root of what we're doing, right? And so your approach is more like a deeply rooted tree. Would you say something like that?
Yeah, definitely. So the work that I do, it definitely goes to the cause. So going right to the root of where it began. And sometimes we can't see that for ourselves. So we have a little bit of searching to do during the session, and just usually we can get to that place where we find where it began. And then from there, we talk about how we're going to let it go. And the client will decide if they're ready to let it go.
And I think, I mean, I'll be honest, the most amazing thing to me so far is the fact that emotional root, or let's say that base is what everything grows out of. So in your life's journey, your anxiety issues, your depression issues, your confidence insecurities, whatever it may be, potentially all stem from that unified thing. So what you're really doing is you're going here. And we're trying to eradicate that, because if you eradicate that or open, unblock, all this stuff is gone. And that to me is magical, and you know, it's not easy peasy. It's not like wave your magic wand. It takes a lot of work. Like you said, it takes a lot of trust, a lot of openness, willingness, courage. Right?
Yeah, and just being ready for change, because change is never easy. It's uncomfortable, and so a lot of times people don't like being uncomfortable, and so I'm encouraging people to step out and be uncomfortable to get to the other side, because the other side is amazing. It's free, and it's
sense of peace, and harmony,
everything.
And everything is just right.
And so when you get to that place, everything becomes easy. So life flows. You start to just, things come to you instead of that struggle, feeling like life is a struggle all the time. So when you get to that place, and you just have this whole new awe of life.
Amazing. So I know, I can only imagine. I mean, you know better than me, but we do have to wrap it up now. But you know, I do want to kind of take us out with a little bit of, you touched before, fear is a huge thing, and I think in today's society, it's fair to say we're living in a fear-based society. You know, what can you tell us about, what if each of us have, the viewers at home? I mean, I think we all have an obligation, right? What is that obligation?
I think our obligation is to really work on ourselves, be our best, and live our best life. And if we do that, then everything around us will change. So what is happening in our bodies is a reflection of what we're going to see outside of us. So if we're feeling good and centered and all love, and we're not living in the mind, and we're feeling peace inside, then that's actually what shows up in your life. So the more we work on ourselves, the more we can change.
And it's important to note that it's okay to be selfish.
Absolutely.
Right? Because we need to take care of ourselves first, and then by default, we will take care of those around us.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So any advice, any closing advice for us? I know we're going to have some people at home that are maybe sitting on the couch and struggling with things, myself included. You know, what would be the first step? I mean, we've talked a lot about emotion today. What can you give us as some advice to maybe getting on that authentic path to ourselves?
Well, the advice that I give people is just to begin. Just begin to connect inside and just listen inside. Be aware, live in awareness. So living a conscious life. So be aware of how you're managing your mind, your thoughts. Your thoughts and your words become your reality. So be mindful.
I mean, I wish we had another 30 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we just kind of touched the surface. I really want to get into some roots and get going.
Yeah.
But listen, I want to thank you for taking the time with me. It's always a pleasure to sit down with you. I love it. I love the energy. I really do.
Thank you for having me here.
And for you at home, I think, you know, just begin. She said it best. You know, she found a profound purpose in life first by doing nothing else than looking inward, right? She was in some pain, discomfort, life turmoils. We've all been there, you know, and to be mindful, to be present. You don't have to put on a fancy robe. You don't have to go to a class. You don't have to sweat. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is stop and listen to what's going on inside this. And it's a powerful tool. And so, you know, I think, again, thank you for your wisdom. I challenge all of you out there to take a moment, look inward. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself on an emotional level. Be vulnerable. I think that's a huge thing. You'd be surprised when the more vulnerable you become, the less fear you have, the less shame you have about certain things. So thank you for watching. Thank you for this episode of the Inspirational 30. Carla, it was fantastic. Thank you to all of you at home. You guys have been sending in comments, questions. It's been fantastic. I love the energy about the show. We're reaching a lot of people. This is great. It's all here for you. It's all here for your family, your friends, for people, because we all want to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. Thank you so much. Stay tuned and stay inspired.